Aha! We are going to go a bit cosmic here today. I know that in the frequencies that we live in, sometimes we're trapped into the physical reality, right? The material world, everything that we have to do in life to just survive on this planet, to function really healthily and happily on this planet. This is called the matrix, right? And there is nothing wrong with it. I mean, it can be improved. You know, we can do lots of things to optimize it. But right now what I want to do is like tune into a frequency which is a little bit more out there. The reason why this frequency is sometimes not really activated in our beings is just because we are not trained to do so. You know, the moment you sit down and you start meditating and you start tuning into the idea of being a cosmic being, you know, and you start activating that reality inside of you, suddenly the world opens up to something that is radically different than the world that we live in all the time. You know, driving on roads, being connected to the internet, making phone calls, just dealing with the daily stuff, feeding ourselves and so on. So our consciousness has the possibility to tune into different frequencies. And when we start tuning into this frequency of being galactic cosmic beings, something starts happening that is radically different than the life we are used to. And so which one is real, you know? They're all real. They are just different holographic representations of who we are. And the idea that we are cosmic beings, you know, a cosmic race, a galactic race, it's obvious. Of course we are. We are suspended in this little planet there in the middle of this vast universe, in the middle of this Milky Way, you know, which is our galaxy. Of course we are cosmic beings. We are members of the universe. We are members of this galaxy. And so let's tune a little bit into that and realize that, okay, if we are members of this galaxy, right, or members of this cosmos, but let's bring it back to the galaxy. We are members. We are inhabitants of this vast space, okay? This is true, this is reality, right? It's logical, we are just suspended out there. So if we start tuning into that, and then the next question is like, we are the only intelligent beings? Does that make sense? Does it even, you know, that in this little planet there, that all across the universe, somehow God or the force that created this human form just said, okay, this little dot of dirt, of beauty, the planet Earth there, in there we are just going to put this intelligence that we are going to call human beings, and this is all there is. There is no other intelligent form on the totality of the universe. Imagine you believe in God, right? You believe in some form of intelligence, or you believe in forms. You know, can you conceive that an intelligence of that vastness that is able to generate us would just be like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. Then I'm just going on holidays for the rest of the universal time. Doesn't make sense. You know, we are creative beings. We are have been brought on this planet as a magnificent adventure and a magnificent experiment. And so if we start tuning into the idea that there are more life forces, more life forms, well, some of them might be more evolved than we are, and some of them less evolved. And then you think about what we know about the time of the universe, right? 15 billion years, right? This is how long the universe has been expanded since the Big Bang. Right? This is more or less the theories that are accepted. Imagine that it's 15 billion years. We as a human race, we started developing or evolving for 2 million years. So there is a lot of time there. You know, it's possible that on this planet was populated by beings before us that were not incarnated in physical forms. Or maybe the physical forms were there, but the whole set of memories of what's still available in the records on this earth have been wiped out. And so the idea that there are other forms of intelligence in this universe, in this galaxy, you know, I don't know about you, but it makes sense to me. Even if within the realm of our education and our conditioning, we are not used to think in those terms. The reason why I'm thinking in those terms is because I have been meditating a lot and I've been isolating myself in caves and in other places to build up a certain reference or a certain relationship with the universe around me that steps a little bit out of the traditional matrix. Doesn't mean that it's better or worse, it's just a different frequency that we can tap into. The moment you start tapping into that frequency, then you start getting, downloads, impressions, sensations. This is called intuitive research. Then you start tapping and you go like, okay, what can this look like? Intelligences, vast intelligences across the universe. So if this is happening, if this is going on, if we are surrounded by intelligent forms, and some of them might be millions of years ahead of us in terms of evolution, it means that think about the human race and where we will be maybe 3 million years from now. In terms of our abilities, we'll be developing these amazing abilities to transmute into etheric forms, reincarnate, bam, bam, it's like, where will we be? It's the potential or the possibilities are magnificent. So imagine that right now we are being watched, we are being observed as a human race by forces, intelligence that are like 2, 3, 5 million years ahead of us. That they are giving us little hints. Here's a piece of technology. Here is a thing. We are going to call that the cell phone. And here's the connector, the Facebook connector. It's a matrix of things that help you connect with other people. And they give us these little hints of energy. Hey, let's give you that. See how you manage with that power, with that energy. And then we evolve a little bit, and then suddenly things speed up. So then suddenly there are certain discoveries that speed up our evolution tremendously and put us also in danger because we have to learn how to manage these new powers. So this is what I want to open into this field right now. Imagine that we have an ability to download, to transfer codes, to be in touch, in conscious touch with these forms, these intelligences. And that when we talk about having a muse or having inspiration, the spirit coming in, what is that? It's not just formless. It's precise, it's intelligent, it's stimulating, activating. What is activating our dreams? Once we go into non-conscious mode and we are dreaming, what's really going on? This could be a transmission, right? It could be something that is reverberating and activating aspects of our beings or aspects of our consciousness that are not conscious otherwise. And the reason why we are not accessing that reality all the time, the reason why we are not full on into the galactic grid of consciousness, into the galactic hierarchy, in connection with those forces and intelligences, is because we don't have the mental, the energetic, or the emotional ability to take it. It would be too much information. We would be like, dissolving into a reality which would be like, oh my God, absolutely everything I thought was true has been just wiped out of our consciousness. And we are entering into a new state of reference. Imagine that our consciousness is not Earth-based, but galactic-based. Imagine that we are cosmic beings, and right now, what's happening right now here in this being is like an activation of a transmission that has to do with the play and the connection and the communication with intelligences and forces that are much vaster than myself. And somehow some force comes and say, hey, Shiva, why don't you record a video, and send some cosmic message, some galactic message, to see how the world responds to that. And other people are doing it, other people are transmitting things like that, or teachers, it's like we are being permeated by that, right? It's not just me. But imagine that right now, at this very moment, I am being watched, and you are being watched, seeing how you respond to this message, how you receive it, and where do we go from there? These are all interesting questions. So when I talk about the oracle power, this is the oracle power. It's the ability to be like a clear canvas, have transmissions, and as soon as those transmissions, or as soon as this energy activates your being, it expresses itself in the form of ideas, and through the filter of your mind, those ideas become reality. This is how we design our future. This is what I would call the oracle power, and it has been present on our planet for a long time. You know, oracles were present in Egyptian time, and so you become an agent, a channel, somebody who transmits, you know, the codes of knowledge, codes of inspiration, ideas, guidance. So right now it's possible that in your field, you know, you're waking up to this idea, you're waking up to these abilities, you're waking up to tuning into some reality. So I want to tell you, it is that this is real. You know, when you are in intuitive research mode, when you are transmitting something or receiving something, it is real. It is real, at least for me. I don't know what you think, or I don't know where you are at. But I want to tell you, trust your instinct, trust your intuition. Something magical happens.